This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
It is entirely true, by the way. It's not, he hasn't lost a penny. No one's lost a penny until you sell, my brother. Okay? You may lose value, but you haven't lost a penny. That's why when you invest, you have to stick through the ups and downs. If you don't have the emotional fortitude to kind of get through it, then you shouldn't invest because you're going to have volatility. Like right now, the entire world right now is under volatility with everything going on. And it doesn't matter what you invest in, but you better understand that you're going to go through rough times and you got to stay strong. That's just the way it goes. All right. So, how down is your portfolio right now, Mr. Poupart?
I plead the fifth. I don't.
I know you're not a crypto guy, but do you have stocks? Out of curiosity,
yes. But I don't discuss financial stuff.
No, I know, but I'm not asking you to discuss.
Yes, I have investments.
Right? Did you sell anything?
I plead the fifth. Let's talk Panthers and Dolphins.
So you did. So you sold on a low. You sold some stuff on a low.
I'm not discussing my financial situation. That's private, personal.
I'm not asking specifics. I'm just saying. You know, I thought you would stick through.
I sold my 50-cent share.
Okay. All right.
I'm just playing with you.
You have none? No, you don't have any investments?
I'm not talking about that. I don't think anybody cares personally.
Yeah, dude, they want to know how
they don't want to know
you are.
No, they don't want to know.
Yes, they do. They want to know how good of an investor you are.
By the way, I apologize for being a little late. I'm at the Law Live Arena where the Panthers introduced Paul Maurice as their new head coach.
Doesn't really inspire a lot. They're a guy that has, that many losses and all that stuff. It just, what'd you think of it?
I don't know. I'm back and forth on it. I was looking at his career resume. It's been around a while. It says a lot for him that he's had very long tenures, and especially I was looking at the Panthers' history. Do you know the Panthers in their history have had two coaches who have lasted as long as 3 full seasons?
I know.
That's it.
I know.
And that's the most. They've never had a coach go into a fourth
18th or 18th coach, dude. In 29 years.
That's crazy. Well, Paul Maurice had like really long runs in Carolina. He had a long run in Winnipeg. And everybody speaks highly of him. And you talk to him, he's fascinating to listen to. We talk about Mike McDaniel being very smart. I don't believe Paul Maurice went to Yale, but he is very, very sharp as well. And again, it may be that's what they need. The Panthers need. I don't know. I still think they needed some reshaping of the makeup of their roster to be able to play better in the playoffs. As Maurice mentioned today, that those passes through 9 sticks across the middle of the ice, that can fly in the regular season. That doesn't fly in the playoffs. You can't win like that. So there has to be an adjustment, and he certainly came across like he's very cognizant of that fact.
Well, I'm sure they all had to agree on that in that meeting, that they all see the same things. You know what I mean? So that, and I still get the feeling that, because they went after a Coach Q and stuff. I still get the feeling that a Barry Trotz turned them down. That's probably why we're here with Maurice as the head coach. I just get that feeling that the big name guy must have turned them down.
I think that's too drastic, though. Based on the composition of their roster, to take what they have, you bring in Barry Trotz and the style of hockey that he plays. You're talking at remaking half, if not more, of the roster. Where I think with Maurice, it can be more of a smoother transition away from all the finesse that's so successful in the regular season to more of the grit and defensively conscious play that works in the playoffs.
Okay. All right. I mean, listen, who knows? Maybe this is his moment that he finally finds the right organization and he becomes, the head coach. All I can tell you is it's not an inspiring hire. Unfortunately, that's just the way it looks. He might be the guy, who knows? But it's not an inspiring hire, unfortunately. Barry Trotz would have been inspiring. Bringing back Quinville would have been a little controversial, but
Yeah.
you would have said, "Wow, that's a hell of a coach." All that stuff. So you would have, and I know what the commissioner said and all that, so that was dead in the water. But something like that would have really, shooken the foundation. This is like ho hum, unfortunately. And then the other part of it, I still think they need to go trade for that star, that guy that commands the locker room, that guy that is that guy that gets pissed off for losing, that guy that can rattle people's cages. And obviously Barkov is not that guy, as talented as he is. So is that guy available? Can they get that guy? Should they get that guy? Do you disagree with that?
Yeah, no, I do, because as look at the Lightning, who have won 2 Stanley Cups. Do you see anybody talk about Stamkos as an ass kicker?
He's not. He looks better than our guy. Kucherov and Stamkos look like
now,
guys
see,
that
you
they
talk
have,
about
they have that
performance,
knack. They have that knack.
but you're talking about performance in the playoffs, and that's different than you, because you just said you're somebody to kick ass in the locker room.
Yeah, like everything. The overall top guy in that locker room, not just as a scorer, but a presence in that locker room. Yeah, I think you need a combination of it on the ice and in that locker room. Yeah, I think you need it.
No, I don't disagree with you, but what I'm saying is I don't know that you need for guys to kick more ass in the playoffs is what you need. But no, there's usually, because when that guy, when you match that talent with that kind of grittiness and dog in him, those guys don't move. Teams aren't trading those. They're just flat out not. Those guys are not moving.
I can understand that. Yeah. So, but is there a disgruntled guy? Because I don't follow hockey like you do. Is there a disgruntled guy? Like, I would know what's going on in the NBA. I don't know in the NHL. Is there a star that can be had from a lesser team or something like? I mean, Pat Riley's made a freaking living of doing that, bro.
Yeah.
He finds the pissed off dude in every team and he brings him here. I'm just saying, can Bill Zito do that? Is there that guy out there somewhere on one of these teams?
Yeah, no, it's a lot tougher in hockey. The other problem too is we can talk about adding players all we want, but the Panthers are in a really nasty cap situation where this offseason is going to be more about limiting the damages as far as players who leave, more so than what you can add. So if they can limit the damage, and for me, the one guy I want to see back, they have a lot of UFAs, including Claude Giroux, including Ben Sherratt, who they both got at the trading deadline. To me, the one guy that I don't want to see leave is Mason Marchment, because he's a guy, he is what you call a sandpaper type of player, and you need those in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I saw your 77 article, and I was laughing when you put Damian McIntosh on that list.
They're all on the. I mean, if you wore 77, you're on the list. Hey, the dude shares my birthday, so he's got that going for him.
No, I know, but all I can remember from back in those days is that I'm somewhere. I can't tell you exactly where, because I don't want anybody to put 2 and 2 together. But I'm somewhere, and I'm with a prominent Dolphin player, and we're talking about what's going on with the team, and I mentioned to him Damian McIntosh, and he goes, "Oh, he's a turnstile." So that's all I can remember is his teammate telling me he's a turnstile. And I know the poor kid also ended up with a foot injury, if I remember correctly. And was it like mishandled or something like that, or misdiagnosed or something? Or I forgot.
I know he came over from the Chargers, and it's interesting too, because like younger Dolphin fans, or those who've been around, or those who live in the moment, talk about how bad the offensive line was in 2021. That group in 2004, whoosh, and then 3 years later, when the Dolphins were 1-15, there were a lot of reasons to 1-15. That offensive line was not good.
It's been a problem for us for a long time. That's why the few moments that you could keep Pouncey, Brandon, and James healthy, it was like, all right, well, we got a half decent line now. That kind of, because it was just the Jamie Nails year. That those were like, these are things that stand out to us in 25 years, because it's few and far between when we've had like decent lines here in Miami.
No, and Jamie Nails was that 2002 season. Man, that dude was awesome. Everybody remembers
Pulling machine. He was a pulling machine.
Oh, he was there. There was one highlight. I think it might have been the opener against Detroit. He's running 30 yards downfield, like leading Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
And there was a reason Ricky led the NFL in rushing that year. I mean, the guy was incredible, but the offensive line that year was really, really good.
I mean, I remember early in training camp because those are the days where they still had pads on mini camps and everything. And you could tell early on, it was like, oh, they're going to run this year, you know? And like Jamie came in great shape and all that. And it was like, you had the feeling right away that they were going to be able to run the ball. And sure enough, man, they had one hell of a year there. But yeah, I saw the 77. I like that. How disturbing is it, man, that it drives people to send death threats to Tyreek Hill over just stupid comments that we're talking about football? You know, and by the way, I mean stupid comments because they're like silly. It's just predictions and stuff that we do in sports, and people overreact. I mean, I just found that to be such, you know, unfortunately it's normal, but it's just at the same time so twisted and disturbing.
It's sad is what it is. I mean, if you get driven to the point of doing that because you don't like what Tyreek said about Patrick Mahomes or your perceived slight of him, I think you may need to reassess your life and where things are with you. Because I mean, that's bad. Seriously, we're talking about games here, fun and games. That's what sports is supposed to be. Yeah.
This is why we need strict gun laws. Okay.
Yeah, except things are going in the other direction with that. So.
Yeah, I know, but
don't get me started on that because I'm gonna get pissed off here.
Yeah, but it's just like, man, we got people that can't even control their anger over football.
Right.
I mean, you know, it's like, come on, dude. You know, it's like,
yeah. So let's keep loosening all kind of gun restriction laws.
Exactly. It's like, holy crap. You know, it's just one of those things that just kind of drives you crazy, and I feel bad for the guy because, see, here's where we all get hurt. You get hurt. I get hurt as a fan, right? Because now Tyreek feels like, well, I can't open up too much now because I don't need to hear this shit from people. So now you as a writer, you want to get something more into the person and get more of a profile on the human being. And he's like, yeah, no, I don't want to share because it's not worth sharing nowadays. And then me, the fan, can't get that from you, the writer, because the player, you can't blame him, wants to kind of clam up because unfortunately society can't handle somebody, you know, telling a story or an opinion or whatever. That's
Big O. I mean, I literally wrote about it after he made his comments saying, look, he's not playing with Mahomes anymore. Tua was his quarterback. That's his new team that gave him a lot of money. Of course he's going to favor Tua in his comments. That makes perfect sense. That's completely normal. It would be kind of almost silly if it were the other way around. I mean, what's Tyreek Hill going to say in a podcast? Yeah, Tua's a nice quarterback, but he's no Patrick Mahomes. Really, he's going to say that? Right. And then even Hill himself in his second podcast, which was Tuesday, acknowledged that the reason he's saying the things he's saying is that Tua is now his quarterback, and I'm going to instill confidence in him.
And he truly feels that he can be great. He did say that too.
No, correct. But it's like, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket science to understand the context of the comments. It's not, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with being excited about a new start, bro. Hey, if you leave your ex-wife and you go to a new wife, you're probably excited about the new wife. You leave one job, you go to another job, you're excited about the new job and the new prospects of the new job. That's life, dude. We do that in everything that we do. When we move on from one thing to another, we're always hoping that the pastures are going to be greener. That's kind of the process. And by the way, it's also a great way of being as a human being. You want to have positive thoughts. And if you're going into a new venture, you don't want to go into a new venture with a negative attitude, dude. You want to go into a new venture with a positive attitude. You want to go into a new relationship with a positive attitude. You want to go into a new job with a positive attitude.
That's just normal, dude.
And if he's wishy-washy in his comments about Tua when he's asked about him, or less than overly enthusiastic, then he's going to get killed by the Dolphin fan base. Well, why don't you go back to Kansas City, you loser?
Exactly.
I mean, so he said exactly what you would expect him to say. There was nothing offensive in the least. If Patrick Mahomes for a second was offended by what he said, dude, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, seriously.
And out of all things, he really picked out the one characteristic that Tua might end up being better than Mahomes throughout his entire career. Accuracy. That's all he really mentioned.
Correct.
And if it's something that you know from that young man, that's actually a trait everybody knows he's exceptional at, is accuracy. So why would Tyreek be freaked out or anybody else be freaked out that the kid is accurate? I mean, that's again, it wasn't a big deal, bro. It
wasn't a big deal.
It wasn't a big deal.
Even if we want to debate exactly whether it's exceptional accuracy, but that's a different topic.
Whatever, yeah, whatever. But it's funny because he picked the one trait that you could put Tua up against anybody, pretty much. Correct. His accuracy, bro. I mean, the only guy that I would say right away, I would say, no way, not yet, is Aaron Rodgers, because I've seen he looks like an effing video game the way he throws the ball around all over the damn field. His accuracy is sick. But, it's like Tua's right up there with everybody when it comes to accuracy. He is. That's one thing that has stood out from him from the get-go, and I'm not surprised that Tyreek's short time, he's probably gone, wow, this dude's accurate. He puts it right where I need it. Nothing wrong with that, dude.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. And there was, again, it's a sad commentary on the landscape of 2022 and social media.
I'm with you there. All right, what are you working on, Sports Illustrated, so folks can check you out, my friend?
Well, I'm actually kind of surprised you didn't bring it up, because yesterday I started like a little series that we're doing on the site. Tua's top 5. Yesterday I did Tua's top 5 career games.
Uh-huh.
Today we're doing Tua's top 5 passes, and tomorrow we're going to do Tua's top 5 runs.
Okay. All right. Top 5 passes, top 5 runs. I'm sure the one where he trucked a dude is going to be in there. That's for damn sure.
Okay. Well, two points on that one. Number one, I wrote the 5 best games. My writer, Dante Colinelli, is doing the 5 pass and the throws. He's got carte blanche to rank him as he wants. To me, it wouldn't be nowhere near the top one. For me, the top one was Arizona in the open field when he drew Buda Baker. I think.
Oh yeah.
I like the visual of him trucking the Jets cornerback, but I think we need to slow down on how kick-ass the move was when you consider the DB weighed 180 pounds.
Okay, but it's still, quarterbacks don't put their, he did it even by accident. The fact that he put his shoulder into the dude, at least, Dude, it's fine, and it should be in the top 5. I think it was overblown a little bit because, again, to me, like Fitzpatrick taking on a linebacker blocking for somebody in a preseason game, while I thought actually was stupid because it's a preseason game. If we're going to award points for showing balls on a play, that would have ranked higher in my book. All right. Follow him on Twitter and check it out. By the way, alldolphins.com is the website. Lock it in. Bookmark that baby right there. He's producing at least 10 to 15 articles daily. I'm telling you, daily. It's amazing. I don't know how he comes up with the material, but follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL and then catch him here twice a week doing his thing. Have a great weekend, my friend. We will catch up next week.
You got it. Have a good one.
You got it. There you go. All right, Alain Poupart, we are ready to go. Our number 3 is next. Bobby Polino is going to join us from the Fort Lauderdale Police in our number 3. Coming up, Ira Winderman also will join us right here. And Marcel Louis Jacques. Still, we got a lot to come right here on the Big O Radio Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.